Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life. Hey everybody, Brian Smith here with the I Am Team series. And wow, we've been doing some heavy stuff lately here at the Daily Influence. And, this body of work that we've been on, disruption, transition, improvement, change, drama, toxic work environments, may have created anxiety. And, we all have anxiety. How each of us individually manages anxiety can actually be part of the accountability process that we talked about last week. Anxiety is one of those things that can hit us out of the blue. It can build up when we feel like we're in control and all of a sudden just smack us and just hit us like a ton of bricks. And it feels like that oftentimes, right on our shoulders. We carry the weight of the world, especially if we are leaders. And it doesn't matter what you're leading because it's all relative. Anxiety is relative to you individually. The level of anxiety and how you feel it is only relevant to you. Nobody else understands that. Anybody who tells you that they understand what you're going through when you say you're feeling anxious or have anxiety is being ignorant. I know they're trying to help oftentimes. They're just trying to maybe even be empathetic and, balance with you and provide you with some support. But the fact is it's hard to do that because each of us carries anxiety differently. It affects us differently. And dealing with it is a very personal thing. What I'm going to try to do today is give you some tips that will help you deal with the anxiety you might feel in your specific areas of influence. And the first is calling it out. It is okay to feel anxious. Anxiety is not okay, though it is there almost as a protection, right? It oftentimes allows us to get a little bit more focused, a little bit more centered about a problem. When we're anxious about something, we might actually slow down. And that's the first step. Slow down and understand the anxiety. Where is it coming from? What is it that's causing it? Try to swim through. And oftentimes that's a cloudy pool to swim through. It's murky. We're not exactly sure. We can't pinpoint where that's coming from. But that's your first goal, is to call it out, define it. Define where the anxiety is coming from. Be smart about it. I know you hear this all the time from me. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. It can apply to everything. Defining anxiety, it can apply to that also. Be specific about what it is. Try to measure it if you can. Is it attainable right now for me to get out of it? Or what is needed for me to get out of it? Sometimes what's causing anxiety is that we're missing a mark, or others are missing a mark. We're not reaching something, which is creating that anxiety. I'm not holding myself to a standard or getting to a place or doing a thing, but defining it and understanding its attainability can help us get past it. Is it realistic? Am I being realistic about what my expectations are, what my goals are? Because if I'm not, anxiety can come from that. You can be putting too much pressure on yourself for something that you haven't really planned well for. When we approach it with smart, we can take 1 step, 2 steps, maybe even 100 steps backwards, get ourselves refounded, a new foundation to begin moving forward again. At the end of the day, if you have to take 100 steps back to take 1,000-step journey, so you have 1,100 steps, but you still reach that journey in the end, you've done the right thing. No, you might have taken longer, cost more, not met some standard that you set for yourself or even that somebody else set. But guess what? If they have set a standard for you that wasn't smart, that's not fair. It's not your anxiety to bear, it's theirs. And if you're transparent, smart about your communication with them, you'll push back and say, hey, we're not being smart about this. When we're not smart about this, it creates anxiety for me because I know I can't be realistic. I can't attain what it is you're asking me for because it's not a realistic request. It's not a timely request. You weren't specific enough. The lack of smart creates anxiety. It can be at the root of all of anxiety that we have. Now, I'm not talking about, by the way, anxiety that is attributed to certain mental health issues. If you find yourself in that sphere of influence, you got to go get help. We can give you tips and tricks here to maybe smooth some of that anxiety over, but we're never going to solve that type of anxiety. You need to get some help for that. And if you're still struggling, ask. Visit friends. Talk about what it is that is causing that anxiety. Work, personal life, home, children, school. Communicate. Communication is the path to helping to relieve anxiety, to improvement. Smart communication will get you wherever you want to go. Smart tactics, smart planning, all of it will get you where you want to go. And when we're smart, anxiety begins to wane and go away, and we replace it. So deal with anxiety by slowing down, defining it, understanding it, get to the root cause of it, communicate about it, and then become smart about it. When you get stuck, reach out, get help. Talk to somebody. If it's deeper rooted and you just can't figure it out, go above and beyond, get professional help. Anxiety is not a joke. Anxiety is real. It happens to all of us. Do your best to be smart about it, and you can have a better grasp, better understanding, and use it for improvement instead of full disruption. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.